So hello and welcome back to Test Drive Thursday. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Scania RJL mod from the Steam Workshop. Now we're going to be focusing purely on the P series. There is also the G and R in the mod, so there's plenty in there, but as I said, we are going to be focusing on the P today. So let's start by taking a look at all of the customization. Okay then, so here we are inside the upgrade shop. So started off with the cabin. Even on the P there's so much to choose from here, everything from the short to the top line. But with the P series you're commonly only going to see lows, days and shorts. I've just been going for the short, which does have this back window here, but when you go on the inside, as you can see, it's not here, which is really weird. But yeah, you've got the short, day and the low. In fact, let me just check on the day. Even on the day it doesn't have the bit back here. As you can see though, no sort of bed in the back. If you go for low, I don't know if it does put a bed in. Yeah, with the low you do get a bed, but it is very low, as you can see. Quite cozy though, I do like it. Onto the chassis, you've got a 4x2 low deck, which is pretty awesome. Not very much ground clearance though. You've got a 6x2 short, 6x2 long, 6x2x4 short, 6x2 4 short, and as you can see it goes all the way up to a 10x6x4. However, again, you're probably only going to be seeing 4x2s and maybe 6x2s, that sort of range with this truck. Onto the engines, you've got all the way from a Euro 3, 230 horsepower, which is a very, very good engine. If you haven't already, make sure to go and check out my video, believe last week, of me hauling a 44-ton trailer with this 230 horsepower engine. This engine is really impressive, trust me. Then you can move up to a Euro 4 version, which is slightly more efficient, I guess, and the power is available for longer, up to 1500 RPM. But even with the Euro 3 230, I was still getting around low 40s litres every 100 mile, which is really good. You've also got a Euro 5 version of that. Again, larger sort of power band. Yeah, some 250s, 280s, 310s, 320s, 340s, 360s, 380s, and up to about 400 horsepower. I don't think you'd see the P series with any more than that, so it's quite a good range with that. Onto the transmissions, you got some 8 speeds in here, 9 speeds, 12 speeds, 6 speeds, 14s, loads of different ranges and ratios, so plenty to choose from. You could be here for about an hour probably sort of picking your different transmission. The only problem with that is if this is like your first time truck, which it is a good one, to be honest. It's quite cheap and it is updated quite regularly. You can't just sort of pick and choose the different transmissions and keep going in and outside the upgrade shop, so you do have to get it right the first time, which can be a little bit awkward. Now on the interior, as you can see, there are some bugs with the sort of textures. I went on the mod having a look at the R series, and there was none of this sort of broken textures. It was all normal, even though it's a sort of same cabin. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't think it's my computer. I think it's the mod that's doing that. Some texture missing, but you can have a V8 interior with this if you want, but again, you probably only get standards with this truck. Maybe exclusive if you want the sat nav, which is quite a useful option. Plenty of colour options here, but I would say the metallic doesn't quite line up correctly with the rear of the truck. Like if we go for a red here, maybe it doesn't show up that well. You can probably just about tell that it's a different shade, especially here. Look at that, the colour difference. So that's a bit annoying, because it means that you can't really have a metallic colour. It's worse there, look at it there. That's a massive difference. And I have seen that problem for quite a while on this mod, and it still hasn't been fixed. But yeah, onto the options. You've got all the different bumper options as usual. As you can see here, lows, highs, lower grille guards. You can change this little painted part here. Here is where you can change the headlights, and they really sort of do modernise the truck. I mean, if you compare that with, say, the streamline ones, I mean, it completely changes the front of the truck. It's such a good thing to change. You can put the engine designation on. You got a front bull bar, all standard though. I do wish that they did add some different ones, like painted ones, black ones, things like that. You can change the grills on the truck. So if you're going for an older style, a Euro 5, or maybe you want to bring it up to date with a Euro 6, it is nice to have that option. You can even paint behind the grille, which is pretty cool, or add chrome if you want to be out there. Now down here is where you can add in, say, fog lights, parking lights. You can even have some yellow ones, as you can see here, which do look pretty cool in yellow, especially if you got like maybe a blue truck. They usually work pretty well. All the usual options for mirrors. You can have the sort of single one on the driver's side if you want, but I just prefer the double. You can change the Scania text. You got all the things inside, sun visors for days, light bars, the beacons. That's a standard beacon with this mod, which is pretty good. It works nicely. Interior lighting. I mean, look at the amount of colours for the interior lighting. The customization goes on and on. You can even add a roof wing, which is quite common for the P series. It's sort of a cheaper way into the Scania or into the truck. And then you can just put a spoiler on the back to make it work with box trailers, which is quite a common sight on the roads actually. You got the air hose rack back here, which does have some missing textures. I mean, you can see that there with the red. So along with the interior and the sort of textures missing here and the exterior, I do think there are some bugs here. I don't think it's my computer. You can add a exhaust stack as well. You can paint the fifth wheel for some reason, not sure why you'd want to though. You can paint the chassis. You got all the battery packs back here. Even have them painted, so you can spend a lot of money customizing this, but I think today I'm going to be focusing more on sort of customizing a realistic truck, because that's what the P series really is. And even when you change the wheel, it still doesn't sort of change anything with the textures, which is a bit annoying. But now I'm going to do a time lapse of me building this truck to my spec. So here we are, all fully configured, and now when we're outside you can really see that difference from this sort of front 3/4 angle here between the paint colour. When you get to about here you can't really tell, but yeah, you can definitely see that difference. It's quite obvious actually. But yeah, I didn't go too heavy on the spec. I mean, if we turn the ignition on, you can see I went for the parking lights down there, which look pretty cool, all lit up. I didn't go for the daytime running lights inside the sort of actual light itself. The sort of daytime running lights here are the parking lights. I kept the beacon up there because I thought it looks pretty cool with the little LEDs. You can also turn it on. So look at the amount of light that emits. It's absolutely mad. I thought I'd go for the metallic paint. I mean, it's not necessary, but it's a nice thing to have. Silver grille, nothing too mad. I debadged it because I don't think you'd want to let people know that you got a P230, the most basic Scania. And yeah, nothing too mad. If you're on the inside, I went with the sort of cream and black interior. We got the sunroof up there. Looks pretty nice. We've got the bed in the back. I do like it. It's very sort of cozy sort of feeling with this sort of little bed and everything. I would like to do like a trip in here. I'd love to experience what it's like to be sort of a trucker. Now I have been driving this quite a bit now. As I said, I did drive it on the cheap truck heavy trailer video the other day, and I've just been driving it about, getting used to it and stuff, and it's almost done 500 miles, which sort of lets you know that I am enjoying it, and I haven't actually refueled it. That's what I did the other day, and it was some country lanes and stuff, and I was pushing the engine, but I still managed to get less than 50 litres every 100 mile, which is pretty impressive. As I said, manual gearbox, 12 speed this time. I was driving with an 8 speed before. Just put that into context. Right, let me turn the lights on. There we go. But yeah, it drives really nicely. I do like it a lot. Right, why is there so much traffic? How much are you going to get out of here? But yeah, 230 engine, like getting over bumps like that, you do sort of feel like you're in a lower spec engine or truck. So you're gonna let me in? I'm gonna push in anyway, else we'd never get out. And we didn't make those lights. But yeah, the engine is really smooth once you get up to speed. When you're sort of going around town and stuff, and just getting going, you can sort of tell, especially when you've got a trailer. But other than that, it's pretty good. Can't remember if I'm sure I put an interior light on here. Can't remember now. But halfway through the time lapse of me building the truck to this spec, the game did crash, which was really annoying. So there's definitely something going on. I mean, all the broken textures, it crashed when I changed the steering wheel in here. So yeah, it is a bit weird. I don't think it's my sort of mod list or the other mods that I've got on, because I don't think anything else that I've got installed would affect it. But yeah, it does seem a bit weird that the R series is working fine with RJL, and then this and the G series aren't. Don't really understand why that's the case. But yeah, here we are. Let's pick up this trailer. Freight market. And then here it is. Let's see if we can change it actually. Should we go? Should we go for the double? So we're only going to go up to Uppsala. My usual sort of route from Stockholm on Test Drive Thursday. But yeah, look at that. It's massive. The juxtaposition. I find that hard to say, of this truck and this trailer. Brakes are sharp. don't have advanced coupling turned on. But yeah, look at that. And let's get ready to go. Takes a bit of an encouragement to get going. 23 tons. That's pretty heavy. But yeah, it just pulls away fine. It's so impressive, this engine. 230 horsepower and 23 tons. You don't get that much heavier in the standard game. So it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Cheers, dude, for letting me out. You do have to sort of start off in first, but let's reset the trip and see how we do on fuel. Indicators are so loud. It's sort of an annoying thing, really. But I don't think the engine sounds that bad. I mean, you do have to work it, as I said. So if the sound was annoying, the truck would be a bit of a pain to drive. But I actually do like the sound. Just watching the trailer, making sure... Oh, I've hit the curb. I was about to say, so I don't hit the curb, but I did. But yeah, this thing's massive, look at that. It is a bit of a shame about the sort of paint difference on the actual cabin on the truck. It's a bit weird. But yeah, as you would expect, handling is pretty good with a Scania. And plus, with the P series, you are quite low to the ground. So in real life, the centre of gravity would be quite low, so it'd be less likely to tip up. Now, this is where you do feel the lack of power going up hills. I mean, in something like a 520, you wouldn't even slow down on this hill, but with this, you can really feel it down to 20 kilometers an hour. And you do have to go through sort of each gear rather than skipping them. So yeah, it's not super easy to drive. You do have to put some thought into it, but when you get it right, it's quite rewarding actually to drive. I mean, about 10 kilometers an hour now. Maybe a bit more, but yeah, absolutely giving it everything it's got. I mean, look at the fuel usage, and then downhill. This truck likes going downhill, I can say that. And there we go, into 8th. Let's try and get it up a little bit more speed though. But yeah, it's, as I said, it's very smooth to drive once you get going. You just got to watch out for the traffic, because that's where you lose all your momentum in these lower powered trucks, and then you have to start all over again. But cruising, as I said, once we get it up to speed, I mean, we won't really on this journey, because it's only, what, 50 miles or so. It doesn't use that much fuel at all. I mean, we're doing, what, 60 kilometers an hour now? It feels like we're doing 100 in this truck. Let's try and get it up to 70, the speed limit, or let's probably get it up to 80. Because I think the speed, it speeds up down here. Yeah, up to 50. And then we can stick it in 12th, and then this thing just absolutely cruises. And you can hardly hear it. You just got to keep your foot planted. I mean, I've had my foot planted probably for the last 2 minutes. Come on, up the hill. Change it down to give it more encouragement. And then we're up and over. There we go. Let's see what this thing's got down here. So we're coming up to 80 now. Let's put it in 12th. And there we go. So we can just back off a bit. And as I said, it hardly... Oh, that's a wipe, it's not the cruise control. And put it on cruise. And there we go. Simple as that, just like any other truck. So, especially maybe if you're starting a new profile in the game, or something like that, you don't have a lot of money but want a nice truck. I mean, this is a great way in. It really is. I have really enjoyed driving it, and I'm glad I did that cheap truck heavy trailer video with this truck with this engine. So it is pretty good. I mean, 44 tons this hauled on the special transport, one of the special transport DLC trailers, and it managed it fine. I mean, yes, it wouldn't get up some of the more hilly routes, but we still got it there. But it's definitely better on the sort of longer distances rather than around town, because it just absolutely drinks the fuel around town. But you saw there, we got it down to what, less than 70 now, and that was only a short hop. We just got to drop it off. Let's get in this lane. Actually, as usual, the mirrors are really good. They're absolutely massive, especially on this truck. They are quite. This truck is quite small, but the mirrors are massive in contrast. And also, if you get a lot of speeding tickets, this is also a good truck to get in, because there's no way you're going to be getting any speeding tickets in this truck. It's an achievement if you get a speeding ticket in this truck, let's say. Right, where we go? In the wrong lane. Parking brake on. Yeah, this thing doesn't like pulling away. Come on, let's get going. But you wouldn't be able to drive this without the manual transmission. With an auto, this thing would really struggle, especially when going up hills. But yeah, otherwise, there are some problems with the sort of textures with this mod. But if you go for the R, you can still have this engine and everything else. So yeah, the RJL Scania mod is definitely pretty good. Probably one of the best truck mods out there, to be honest. I really hope he does one for the new Scania, because that'd be so cool to get a P and G series in that. I'd love to have a go. Oh, I'm gonna hit that sign. No, I'm not. And yeah, let's just park it around here. Just gotta watch out for hitting everything. But yeah, the visibility is great because he's so low to the ground. Is he going to take that? Nope. Right, let's just go forward. This is where it gets tricky reversing these trailers. There we go, it's taken that. Not great, but it'll do apparently. So let's turn it on, put it on the brake, lights off, engine off. So if you have enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.